What's going on, everybody? Dan here with another Moonshine talking. I'm gonna do something real quick here. I wanted to do something cool, but then I also wanted to do something a little bit more negative. First of all, I was checking my emails today, and I got a message from one of the local record stores here, the local Sound Exchange, and they had told me that something that I had special order from them came in, so I figured I'd show it to everybody. And before I get into what is going to be my review of the First Omen, which I saw last night, we're going to do a brief unboxing of sorts, and it is for this bad boy. This is Clutch's first album, Transnational Speedway League. It came out in, this is the first time it's ever come out on vinyl. You can see all the specs there. Got a bunch of extras here. And remastered, again, limited edition. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I just found out about this by chance. I happened to put YouTube up on the TV, and there was a video there from their official site or their official channel, I should say. And I was like, oh, I gotta have that because I don't have a copy of this at all. And other than From Beale Street to Oblivion, I don't have any copy. I pretty much have everything of Clutches in some physical media form. But yeah, I wanted to show you that first. I don't really want to. I want to try to keep this sticker if I can. Figure out something. Yeah, I wanted to show everybody this and let's check it out, what it looks like. And then we're gonna, while I'm unwrapping this, I went to go see the Omen, the first Omen last night. It's a prequel. And most of the people that were in it, I had no idea who they were. Charles Dance and Bill Nighy are both famous British actors. They were in it. Charles Dance was only in it briefly. Yeah, this is really cool. I don't know if you can see just that's a sweet album cover. There's the back. Actually, I first heard this album, first heard of Clutch. I was watching MTV Sports, if anybody remembers that, with Dan Cortez, and they were doing a segment on a MMA fighter named Bart Vale, who was I don't know if he was from Florida or not, but he used to go over to Japan and do pancrase, which was an old school kind of half shoot, half work promotion. Ken Shamrock used to do pancrase, Boss Rutan, if anyone knows who that is, a few other guys, and they were just doing a segment on him, and when they were showing like highlight reels of him fighting people and some of his highlights of knocking people out or kicking people and all that sort of thing, they were playing a Shogun named Marcus by Clutch. And I was like, oh, that's badass. Actually, no, I'm lying to you. They played Impetus. That's what it was. But then I started listening to them, saw the video on MTV, and yeah, it was off to the races as far as liking Clutch. This is the inside. That's that's awesome. That's really really cool. And then let's see what we got. See what else we got here. That's pretty sweet. This one's probably going to get hung up. The autographed photo by the band. Tim, Dan, John, Paul, Neil. That's really cool. Yeah, that's definitely going to get hung up somewhere. And then let's check out the record. I saw the photos here. You can see what that looks like. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. From what I gathered, I guess a lot of the photos that are on here, they were all the gentleman who did the video for Shogun named Marcus. He had a lot of this stuff. He's been their longtime photographer, so I guess he had a bunch of stuff that he kept around for them, and they used that for this. But yeah, that's really cool. I'm very excited. When I found out that they had that down at the Sound Exchange, I was super excited to get that, and I was like, all right, I got something to look forward to at the end of the night tonight, and I'll be spinning after I do this. But anyhow, on to the First Omen. This isn't really going to take me too long. I think it'd be a lot longer gushing over the Clutch record that I just got. Excuse me, than talking about the Omen. So like I said, it was a prequel, and I'll try not to give away any spoilers. If I do, I'll give everyone like a 5, 10 second head start before I do anything like that. But by and large, it was not good. It was 2 hours long. You say a lot of people I didn't recognize in the movie. It was You got 2 hours with 10 to 15 minutes of actual notable material, and some of that was ripped off from the movie Possession, which came out in 1981. Had Sam Neill. I forget the woman who was in it, but that was a really disturbed, effed up movie. I found that one just at a happenstance. I was listening to a Cultist to Ghoulis CD, and at the end of it, there's the uh, the Impure Wedding is the name of the song, and at the end of it, they have this really long extended movie sample, and I was like, wow, that's really messed up, and the woman just sounds crazy, making all sorts of weird demonic noises. So I went, of course, go look it up on the computer, and sure enough, it says, oh, it's this movie Possession. So I went and found on YouTube and watched it, and I was like, wow, this is really messed up. But yeah, they complete the most famous scene in that movie. They rip off in this, and I was like, really? And you know that nobody there knew about that. I actually talked to some kids when I was leaving. I asked them if they had ever heard of it, and they're like, no. And I was like, yeah, they completely ripped that off. That scene that was completely ripped off. But yeah, it just wasn't good. It was like 10, 15 minutes were notable. That was towards the end. I've heard people use the word retcon to describe the finale of the movie. A lot of jump scares, couple callbacks to the original. But beyond that, it was like an hour and a half of just boring ass dialogue and nothing happening. Here's a jump scare. Okay, I'm sure everybody's seen this in the trailer. I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but they do a call back to the nurse or the nun or whoever hangs herself in front of Damian in the original. This one they do that, but she also engages in an act of immolation before that. So it's like, okay, yay. But we already saw that in the trailer. They try to get people into the movie by having Charles dance in it, but he was he was in the opening scene, and that was also most of that was in the trailer. So I mean, that was the extent of his role in the film. So thanks for coming. Bill Nye, he's usually a pretty good actor. He's Underworld. He's been in a ton of stuff. I want to say he was in Shaun of the Dead, but he's a very famous character actor from England, and he's been in just a ton of movies, and he's usually pretty good. But this one, he was playing the priest that brings the main character, who is a American girl who's going to Rome, to Italy, to take her vows and become a nun, and he's the one that brings her over. He's kind of helped raise her because she was raised in an orphanage, and she decides she wants to take the vows, be a nun, and he brings her over. It goes from there. All the creepy, disturbing things that happen, which lead to most of the jump scares, happens, and then finally, about probably 2/3 of the way through the movie, I forget the name of the actor, but the there's a priest in it who's been excommunicated. He finds out this whole like freaking conspiracy between the church and this and that. And they also do a really ham-fisted, like kind of half-assed social commentary about the youth in rebellion and how they're all turning away from the church and so on and so forth. Um, but not to really get too much into it, because if you want to go see it, go see it. Form your own opinion. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just telling you what I thought of it. I thought it was trash, and that's probably too strong words to use, but it was not good. I mean, about 45 minutes in the movie, I was checking my phone to see what time it was because I'm like, gosh, damn, this is going to be 2 hours of this. And yeah, it wasn't good. It just wasn't good at all. I'm actually, honestly, I'm surprised because I got home, I checked out some reviews of it, and I saw people praising this thing like, oh, this was amazing, one of the best horror movies of the year. And it was like, really? That's the Disney's got to be paying you some money because there is no way you think that's good. A lot of people were saying some other movie that I haven't seen called Immaculate. They were comparing it to that and saying those are two of the best horror movies of the year. Both, I guess, similar themes with the nuns and all that sort of crap. But yeah, it wasn't good. I mean, it got me out of the house, but other than that, it wasn't good. It's and I could kind of feel that when I first right out of the gate, there was lots of there were signs that this wasn't going to be good. It was just going to be a lot of what I was afraid of, a lot of jump scares, a lot of few callbacks to the original, and that was pretty much it. But they didn't do any of the there's no quote unquote woke stuff in it, but beyond that, it just wasn't a good movie. But again, going back to the reviews of it, there's I've seen some reviewers. One movie critic in particular has a channel on YouTube named Mr. H Reviews. He's usually pretty good, especially with horror stuff. But this one, he was calling it superb and how amazing it was, and the director's so phenomenal. We got to keep an eye on this director, and oh, she's on the come up and all this stuff. And I was like, man, who? The, what? Really? You really like this? And I mean, but I'm glad some if you enjoyed it, if people enjoyed it, that's fine. You know, that's their opinion. Mine is that it stunk. Yeah, I don't see how anyone thinks the director was good. The script was bad. It was just boring and plotting and nothing happening, jump scare, nothing happening, nothing happening. Major plot point, nothing happening. Little bit of gore, little like two, three death scenes in the thing, the entire movie. You know, just a few shocking images for the sake of being shocking. But beyond that, there was not much to this movie. But if you want to go see it, go see it. But if you want to base your opinion on my recommendation, I would save the money. Wait till it comes out on streaming or Max or whatever the hell it'll wind up on eventually. Yeah, it just wasn't good. So anyhow, that's that. That's my opinion of The Omen. But if yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say. It wasn't good. It was really to me just a waste of time. But at the same time, it got me out and about in the world. So yeah, hopefully if you went to see it and you have some comments on it, let me know. Beyond that, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. So I'm gonna go eat something. I'm gonna go listen to the Clutch vinyl, and that's it. So I will catch all of you next time, and later.